Today we are going to look at very beautiful story from the 10th class book The First Flight. Chapter 3, Two Stories About Flying. Here we are going to look at the second part, The Black Aeroplane. This is stories about a happy pilot and how he overcomes his struggle time. The pilot is flying the aeroplane and it is almost 1:30 a.m. early morning. The moon is up in the sky. The stars are glittering and shining. And the sky is very clear and there is no sign of any black clouds. The pilot is with his Dakota aeroplane and is flying from France back to the England and is dreaming about his holidays, that how he'll be enjoying and having a good time with his family. And suddenly he remembers that he should call the Paris control as he saw the big city light in front of him. And he asked for the information and the information was received to him and he was told that you should turn 12 degree to the west. He checked his map and compass and he switched on his last fuel tank. As he was flying towards England, he was thinking about the beautiful breakfast that he will be going to have soon. Everything was going very fine and he had left Paris already 150 kilometers behind. And as he is moving, and suddenly he sees the clouds, the storm cloud, and they were huge and they were looking like big mountains. And he was very much sure that he cannot go above the clouds. And neither he had enough fuel to turn and go to the west or the other side. For one moment he thought that I should go back to the Paris. But again he remembers that I want to enjoy the beautiful breakfast that will be going to prepared for me. And he said to himself, I need to take the risk. And he enters into the storm cloud and he does not see anything. His flight is moving here and there, and as he looked at his compass, it was not working. He tried to call the Paris control, but there was no response. Actually, he was lost in the storm. And then he sees a hope. He sees another aeroplane and he also could see the pilot sitting inside. He was looking at him and waving his hand. The pilot in the other aeroplane said, please follow me. He turned his aeroplane and he followed like an innocent child. And the half an hour was past. He could still see the black aeroplane and he was following that plane, and suddenly he sees and notices that his fuel tank is getting empty. Then after 5 to 10 minutes he sees that the aeroplane is trying to land down and he follows that aeroplane. And as this plane he takes down, he comes out of the cloud and to his surprise he sees the runway, the airport. He feels very much happy, but he also noticed one thing, that the other aeroplane was not there. And he landed safely and went to the Paris control tower. And the woman was sitting there at the reception. He asked her about the aeroplane that tried to help him. He said, I want to meet that pilot who helped me, to thank him. But she was surprised and she looked at me strangely. And then she laughed and said, the another aeroplane? There was no other aeroplane. Yours was the only one could see on the radar. Then he was completely surprised and he asked a question to himself, who was that person who helped him and made him to reach safely without even a compass and without any fuel in the tank? And the another question that he asked, who was that pilot who was flying in the black storm without lights? And he believed that it must be a god who might have helped him. So the lesson of the story is simple, that if we are ready to take the risk, so that is to say, do our best and God will see the rest.